So, learning German. Learning German is very difficult because the order of the words are switched around. I think there's an advantage to German because a lot of words are similar. You can kind of guess what the words are going to be going from English to German, but at the same time, the order of the words are like completely switched around, and like a lot of the, I don't know, words like on or at or in or stuff are like different in German, so you're gonna sound really funny translating directly from English to German. But a lot of Germans actually, especially in the West, they grew up learning English in schools. In the East, they grew up learning Russian in schools, so they won't understand very much English at all in the East. But in the West, people will kind of know what you're talking about, even if you translate directly. But I think, like, just don't get discouraged to learning the language and just keep trying to imitate what you hear. At one point in my mission, we went around and we went to members' houses, and we had like words written down, and we were trying to, have them pronounce it exactly how they would, like pronounce it slowly, and then pronounce it quickly, and then put it in a sentence. And we go home and watch these little videos and try to like imitate it exactly, and that really helped learn the language. Let's see. Also, like trying to speak it every day and trying to only speak it when we were outside, and maybe doing like English inside and German outside, or like English only at lunchtime and then German every other time, or something like that. Like really helped to like try to focus on learning the language. I think there's a balance though, because you have to communicate with your companion, definitely, like, and make sure they know that you care about them, because there can be some, like, I don't know, language barriers even within a companionship if you don't communicate. But I think it's really important to speak German a lot, and I don't know, it's even just like hard to pronounce the specific sounds, like the number 5 is fünf. And one time we were talking to this old lady who couldn't really see very well. She was pretty much blind, and she couldn't really hear very well. And so we went to visit her, and she was like asking about us, and my companion has 5 siblings, right? So she was like, how many siblings do you have? And my companion was like, fünf. And she goes, what? And she goes, fünf. And she goes, what? And we were like, fünf. She goes, huh? And we were like, fun. How do you say that? Fun. It was super hard to pronounce. So, anyways, that sound, ooh, with like an E on the inside and like an ooh on the outside, fun. It's really hard to pronounce. And a lot of words are like that, but you just, I don't know, like really try to imitate them every day. Just try to get that sound right. So, yeah, so that's one of the sounds that's hard. Another sound is the rolling R in the back of the throat. I never got that. It's like an R, I don't know. I can't even imitate it. But this rolling R in the back of your throat, that's pretty hard to do. And I don't know, I just found that like Germans really want to help you with specifics if you ask them. So if you say, I'm from America, can you help me pronounce this word correctly? They're gonna work with you, so that's really helpful of them. And yeah, I just, reading to little kids or having little kids read to you is super helpful as well. If you have a little kid, sit them down and have them read something to you, they pronounce every single letter, and so it's super helpful. That was a cool thing for me to do to learn the language. So those are little tips, helpful things.
German as a language, it's a pretty logical language, structured language. The rules tend not to be broken like in English. We have many exceptions, but for the most part, the rules, stay the same. It's cool. I think it's cool in that words are built of smaller words, and so to understand the meaning of a word or to even come up with a word is usually fairly simple once you get a good grasp of the language. You can look at a long word and understand what it's talking about, generally, because you can take your smaller vocabularies and infer what the meaning is. And I've even had cases where I want to say a word, but I don't know what it is. So you kind of just take different words and put them together, and you can usually get pretty close to the word you're looking for, or actually get the word. So that's something cool about the language. You just gotta you know, I think like any language, you just got to dive in and start speaking with the people. In the MTC, you'll learn, you know, a good bit, but in the field, you'll learn a whole lot more if you just go out and talk to people. If you ask lots of questions, if you, you know, just try and talk with the members. Well, we do have a couple, I don't know if they're considered extra vowels, but the O and the U have what they call umlauts, which is 2 dots above. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're pronounced a little differently, those vowels. And then a Z is one of the harder letters. It's pronounced a TS. I guess the best way to describe it, sort of its sound. And then one of the funny ones is V and W are kind of swapped. So V makes an F sound in English, and then a W makes a V sound. So that's, you know, one of those weird changes that you kind of have to remember.
So definitely hearing the language helps a ton. And if you can hear it and read along with it, or have it in English or in German, that's awesome, because you can compare and learn words. But honestly, what I missed so much on my mission was reading children's books, because you learn real German that's not gospel German, but just like German that's helpful. But you learn it in an easy, simplified way. And so I wish that before my mission I had taken more advantage of those things, because you can't read children's books on your mission, sadly. Listen to it just so you have an idea of how it sounds. And then like in the MTC, just don't be afraid to speak it. Even when you're in the field and you're surrounded by these people that you have no idea what they're saying, and all you can say is, Ich bin die Sister Gilmore, or Ich komme aus America, or whatever, as long as it's just like a simple phrase, just like show them that you can speak it, because then they'll just ramble off in German. And if you don't understand it, you just say, noch einmal bitte, like, can you repeat yourself please one more time? They love it when you speak their language. Even if it's just something so simple, they love to see that you're trying. So just try. That goes for every mission. I think that any country or every native that sees someone trying to learn their language is really appreciative and sympathetic to that person. And even if they start speaking to you in English, they're just really grateful that you are trying to learn their language. And then if they speak to you in English, just keep going at them in German. Like, just show them that you want to speak the language, you want to learn it. Read your scriptures in German and in English. I started at the beginning of my mission reading the Book of Mormon in German with my English next to mine. If there's words that you don't understand, ask people. Ask people all the time. It's such a good conversation starter when you like see a word like on a advertisement or like something on the train that you don't understand. Just be like, excuse me, like what does that mean? And then they'll explain it to you. If you want to learn like the accent, I guess, of the natives, ask people to repeat words to you, and then you repeat them back to you, and then they'll tell you how you're saying it wrong, so that you're really learning how to speak the language like a native. And try as often as possible to have normal conversations with people as well, not just gospel, because you come away from your mission realizing that you learned a lot of gospel-related German, but you don't have German that's going to keep you afloat for very long as a normal person. So if you want to use your language, you need to learn how to speak like a normal native. Speak some slang. It's fun.